So the Brooklyn Nets have made the bad decision to pass on Ime Udoka for reason of outside pressures coming from maybe other owners, the NBA, Adam Silver, and ESPN and all these other sources, right? Pressuring the owner not to hire him. They decided to hire Coach Jacque Vaughn, who's been an interim head coach with them since Steve Nash has been fired, and somehow Stephen A. Smith chooses to blame Kyrie Irving for the whole situation. Like the whole sideshow Kyrie thing is doing is the reason that Ime Udoka was not hired.
We know how great of a coach Ime Udoka is because he has already proven that. I understand this notion about because of all the drama that has been taking place in Brooklyn and because of the self-inflicted drama that Ime Udoka is enduring as we speak, that it just seemed to be too much controversy. That's what Mike Wilbon religiously pointed out, and I totally get that. I'm saying to you, Wendy, if I was the ownership group for the Brooklyn Nets, I would have hired Ime Udoka anyway, because you don't see coaches like him come around every day. He's a foundational kind of coach to build your franchise around in terms of his coaching ability. And it is clear that of all the things that Kyrie has done since he has been in Brooklyn every single year, finding a reason to get time off, Kyrie Irving cost Ime Udoka this head coaching job in Brooklyn. If it were not for the latest shenanigans involving Kyrie Irving, Ime Udoka would be the head coach of the Brooklyn Nets today.
Erroneous on both counts. Like Stephen A., you know you're wrong for this, man. Like the fact that you would place the blame at the feet of Kyrie and misdirect from a point that you've made before about this whole situation. Like let's put the blame where it's supposed to be, because there's been murmurings of Adam Silver and other owners that have been talking like, hey, that the Nets owner was getting pressured to not hire Ime Udoka. And where's that narrative coming from? Feminists. And the companies were feeling the pressure of it and went with that. Let's talk Malika Andrews. As soon as his name was mentioned, she was, well, I can just think about the accountability. Where's the accountability for the women? Where's the accountability on the women to take responsibility for what they did? This young lady is, I don't understand why everybody keeps making her out to be such a victim. She participated in this. And mind you, she was the only adulterer in this situation. Ime Udoka was engaged. He was not married. He was engaged for 7 years. And as far as that concerns, I mean, you back to boyfriend and girlfriend level after 7 years of engagement. You know what I'm saying? But she was the only adulterer in this situation, yet she get least the blame. She does not, they don't want to mention her name. They keep acting like, everything was consensual. I don't understand why it's such a movement to protect her identity or treat her like she's so innocent. She didn't get suspended. She gets to keep working. She gets to keep making money. Like, it's not, but yet they drag his name through the mud and then act like he's the only one that's to blame for this situation, for a choice that they both made. Now, you can tell it's coming from like ESPN and other like-minded companies that want to get the pressure off of them because, companies advertise with them and commercials and all of that. So people feel the pressure, and even like NBA owners, they want to be cleared of this whole mess, you know what I'm saying, and feel good about going forth. But I thought it was just Malika Andrews, but it's coming from ESPN and other people too. Because as soon as Jalen Rose asked that same question, why I don't understand why we don't know her name. Over the commercial break, they made him apologize over the commercial break. You understand what I'm saying? And say I'm sorry, and there's been an internal investigation and all of this, and she was a subordinate, so now I can see why. Come on, man. Let her catch her L too. The scrutiny comes with this. Y'all have no problem scrutinizing Ime Udoka. You should have no problem scrutinizing this young lady too. She stepped out on her husband, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just sad that Stephen A. Smith would paint this narrative, because he checked Malika Andrews before about this, as far as the sloppiness of the Celtics for putting all this out there. And then Malika Andrews trying to attack him because she wanted the women's names to not be mentioned and all of this. And he like, listen, I'm not placing the blame outside of Ime Udoka, but I'm just saying, if the Boston Celtics were sloppy enough to put the story out there, but then redact the names, people are going to speculate. And that's how that goes. So being that they did all of this, you still find reason to blame to blame, you know what I'm saying, Ime Udoka and everybody's, to the point to where all these corporations and other owners and this, that, and other, Adam Silver is putting pressure on the Nets owner, I think his name is Joe Tsai, to not sign the guy. And then, of course, he doesn't sign him. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, it's okay. Is Stephen A. right about Kyrie being a distraction? Yeah, you're right. You're right. Kyrie is going to find something to distract. You know what I'm saying? But some of his causes are noble ones, and some of them ain't. That years back when he just disappeared and went missing for 2 weeks or however long that was. I'm like, what's wrong with this dude? Right? You know what I'm saying? But then when that shot situation came up, I'm like, oh, I stand with you on this one, because there's a lot of people that feel like this shouldn't be forced upon you. And they were trying to do that as far as the NBA and in his state, and he stood against it. And I agree with that. Like, you should not have to be forced to do this to keep your livelihood going. You know what I'm saying? And now they've redacted that. They've taken that back. They've let him play and said, you don't have to get it. And then they also have reversed that with a lot of workers in New York, where they forced people to be fired if you didn't have this and do. So now they're backtracking on that. They're figuring out that it was not lawful to do. And then people are even, being able to sue and get money back for going through this whole process. But I stood with him on that. Now this one, I don't stand with what the tweet was or whatever. I haven't seen it, but I heard what it was about. But the thing that is bugging me about the whole situation is they are attacking him nonstop, smearing him, got him doing all these extracurricular things to get his, supposedly be able to play again. Got to donate $500,000 and this, that, and other, and meet with this person, that person, apologize to everybody. They want you to just get down and just, you know what I'm saying? And it's ridiculous, because somebody brought up this in O'Shea Duke Jackson, one of his videos. He like, why is Kyrie getting all this flack, but yet Jeff Bezos and Amazon, where it's being played, is not? You've heard no one mad at Jeff Bezos. The documentary, to my knowledge, is still up on Amazon, and the numbers have went through the roof from people buying it to see what it's about. And so, if you're so concerned about this documentary spreading hate, why not cut it at the source rather than just dismantle the man who tweeted it? And it's like, my point to that was that everybody over the world tweet a lot of hip hop and everything, right? What does hip hop mainly consist of? A lot of gangster rap and all of that. Shooting and killing, debauchery, twerking and all of that. But long as it's shooting and killing black folks, it's fine, right? So you allow that to go on, and how many other documentaries have had falsehoods in them? Candace Owens just did a documentary with about George Floyd, where they try to say that his death was from methamphetamines and fentanyl instead of the man kneeling on his neck. Outlandish lies, you know what I'm saying? So you will let these people promote their documentary, yet if somebody tweets it, you ain't gonna be like, oh, look at the Jeffrey Dahmer series they put out. Now, it wasn't a documentary, but it was based on a true story, this, that, and other, and it was full of lies. And I don't believe they contacted the families to get truth from them, or see if they wanted them to proceed with this, because if they had, it would have been totally different. You know what I'm saying? But it was full of lies for cinematic effect, and they have no problem peddling that off on YouTube. Mind you, they killed a bunch of black people in it. So I'm just saying. The families didn't agree with some stuff in the series, nor did they agree with it being made. But Netflix pushed it anyway. And all I would say is just place the blame where it goes. I would rather you blame Netflix rather than blame people that are sharing the series. Because people tweet and post a lot of stuff every day. We can't control what they share. But I'm sad that Stephen A. would say this, because he has a big voice. And I don't agree that you would put the blame on Kyrie when we clearly seen pressure coming from other people. Now, did Ime Udoka just kind of catch a blessing in disguise? He may have. Because like I say, they only hired Coach Jacque Vaughn for 2 years, which he's a good coach. Let's just hope he will be a great head coach, But I don't know how this was all shake up, because you got Kevin Durant, who's been known to cry his way out of a deal. So Who knows if he's going to stay, especially if Kyrie doesn't stay. And Kyrie, they don't look like they want to extend him long term because there's always something going on with him. So Kyrie is probably only going to be there for this year. And if they don't find somebody valuable enough to replace him with, then who knows if Kevin Durant is going to cry his way out of staying in town as well. And Ben Simmons is just non-existent as always. So there's no big three there. So this team it could be just disintegrating, but maybe it'll hold together. Maybe this coach can snap it back in shape. But I'm just saying, place the blame where it's supposed to go, Stephen A. But this is your boy Pete Camp. Tell me what you think and what you don't think. Get at your boy.